Hello, jet setters. I'm Jeb Brooks from greenergrass.com. I need to make my way to Amsterdam this evening. Now, I'm in Greensboro, North Carolina, my home airport right now. So the first step is to hop on a CRJ 700 for the flight to Detroit. From there, I'll pick up Delta's A350. I am so excited about this flight because the last time I flew Delta 1 in the A350 was the inaugural flight. So the real question is, has the aircraft held up to the test of time?
Before we find out, I have to make my way from Greensboro to Detroit. And as I do that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the sponsor for today's video. It's NordVPN. It's a great tool for travelers because it allows us to encrypt our locations. It allows us to keep our personal information private, from passwords to passport information to credit cards. This is key because we inevitably end up using public Wi-Fi networks in the countries we visit. And it all stays secure thanks to NordVPN. I like it a lot because it allows me to stay current on whatever shows I'm binging when it's time to leave the country, as I can just change my IP address and appear to be in the States or, in fact, wherever in the world I want. You can even use it to mask your location to potentially get lower fares. Use my link to grab the 3-year plan plus 70% off and get 1 month for free on top of that. Plus, NordVPN will be giving surprise gifts to their customers as they are celebrating their 8th birthday. Head to nordvpn.com/JebBrooks and use promo code JebBrooks to sign up. But there's one more reason I really like NordVPN. You see, it's allowed me to stay in touch with all of you no matter where in the world I am. Using NordVPN, I'm able to access all of my social media accounts just like I'm back in the US without concerns over privacy when I'm on the road. As soon as I got to Detroit, I wanted to catch a glimpse of the A350 that would take me across the Atlantic tonight. Unfortunately, there was a bit of a challenge.
Detroit is a great airport, but there's only one thing I cannot stand about it, and it's these dots. You can't see the airplanes. These dots are terrible.
From what I've learned through Instagram, the Detroit dots are designed to prevent birds from flying into the windows. Of course, that's a good thing, but they're still a plane spotter's nightmare. This airport is truly beautiful, especially here in the A concourse. There's a Westin hotel located inside the airport, which is great for long layovers. Now, it's a pretty massive structure, and fortunately, there's a train that runs the entire length of the A concourse. Getting over to the B and C concourses, though, requires a ride on an underground moving walkway. But there was no need for me to head over there. I went straight to Delta's Sky Club. Now, there are 4 of them here in the Detroit airport, and access is available to any passenger traveling in business class on an international flight with Delta. Now, I visited the one right here in the center of Concourse A. It's located upstairs, and despite its high perch, there are no airfield views. That's too bad. The club has a self-service bar and plenty of flavorful food available on the buffet. There are lots of seats, but in my experience, this club can get pretty crowded. Showers are also available, along with an ingenious way to open the bathroom door after you've washed your hands. I had a lot of filming to do across several legs of this journey. In fact, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the action on this journey that took me all the way to Africa and beyond. You see, I was headed to St. Helena, a tiny island in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean. There's a video about that to come.
Dream of yesterday. Those lonely hours.
My only goal at this point is to stay awake long enough to experience the flight. I'm pretty beat. We'll see what happens.
When I arrived at the gate area, the purser was making an announcement welcoming everyone onto the flight. What a nice touch.
Hello everybody, my name is Kurt. I'm going to be your purser on tonight's flight to Amsterdam. I just want to say hello and welcome aboard. Our flight time is a quick 6 hours and 28 minutes. Our captain gave additional information about Once you're aboard, if there's anything you need, just let one of your flight attendants know. We'll be happy to assist you. Welcome aboard.
While we waited to board, I tweeted about the dumb Detroit dots. The Twitter sphere answered, or at least Anthony did, with this beautiful photo from the ramp. Boarding began in no time, and I was back in Delta One on Delta Airlines' flagship A350. The cabin was just as beautiful as I remembered it. The cabin crew had mood lights going on, bathing the cabin in purple haze. The seat itself is comfortable with 22 inches of pitch and 76 inches of length in its fully flat position. Simply put, there's plenty of space. And the seat is very well designed.
Good evening for the flight deck, Captain John Pierbeck. On behalf of your Detroit-based flight deck crew, I'd like to extend our welcome to you aboard on Flight 134 over to Amsterdam this evening. All set to go up here. Just once we get the boarding door closed, we should be all set to push back. Our flight time this evening, 6 hours, 28 minutes. Certainly our pleasure to have you on board with us this evening, and as always, we thank you for choosing Delta Airlines.
The seat includes a massive screen. We'll look at that in just a little bit. There's a coat hook, as well as a universal plug and a headphone jack. The seat adjustments are intuitive, if a little bit sensitive. It's also possible to adjust the seat from the fully flat position down here. The tray table is a little small, but thanks to the shelf on the side of the seat, it's not a problem to get work done here. There's a light and the handle for closing and opening the door.
My friend Dennis Bunnick is almost at 100,000 subscribers, so go check out his channel. And cheers. Here's to a great flight.
An amenity kit is available at each seat and contains the basics for a flight like this. Delta also provides noise-canceling headphones. And soon, we were off. The in-flight entertainment looked great on this huge, bright screen, and there were plenty of choices. I find Delta's IFE to be great, even on much longer flights than this one. I do wish Delta had a more up-to-date moving map, though, but this was fine. Also, an A350 with no tail camera? I mean, come on. That's a much-missed feature here on Delta's A350s. And as long as we're on the negatives, I was really sorry to see such a dirty and scratched window on a brand new airplane. How does this happen? Leave a comment if you know and let me know. But it was time for me to use the business class seat for its intended purpose, doing business. So I plugged in and got to work. The Wi-Fi worked well, but does come at a cost. Fortunately, I had some credits with American Express, so I got free access. But without one of those passes, access comes for as little as $7 per hour. I then closed the door, and when I tried to open it again, I forgot how to do it and promptly broke it. Oops. When the flight attendants were finally able to get out of their seats and begin service, there was a lot of turbulence on our climb out. I sought and received aid. A quick flip of a switch freed the door and corrected my mistake. A gin and tonic for my troubles? Sure thing. I'd taken advantage of Delta's pre-order service when I received an email a few days prior to my flight. A short rib, chicken, sea bass, or ravioli. Not knowing exactly what future Jeb would want, I picked the chicken. The food was excellent, truly world-class. I mean, I've never craved mushroom soup, but I could have eaten a whole nother bowl of this stuff. And past Jeb nailed it with this chicken. The smell alone was just fantastic. But then it was time for bed. I was really beat. I woke up as we were on approach. I'm sure there was breakfast service, but I missed it.
No breakfast. This was the fastest trip across the Atlantic I've ever experienced. Wow.
I rate all of my international first and business class flights on an admittedly subjective scale that I jokingly call the Jeb score. I rate 5 factors: the lounge, the seat, the in-flight entertainment, the food, and the service. First, the lounge. It's great and has everything you'd expect from a typical US lounge. But United is really putting pressure on Delta. Their Polaris lounges are incredible. This lounge earns 4 stars. Next, the seat. Sure, I broke my door, but it's otherwise really well designed. Having the ability to create your own cocoon is so nice. This is still a 5-star business class seat. Third, Delta's IFE. It's robust and looks stunning on the screen. It is, as always, deserving of 4 stars. Fourth, the food was fantastic, really flavorful, above and beyond. It smelled so good too, by the way. 5 stars here. Finally, the crew were fantastic. They had limited time given the turbulence on the front end of the flight that kept them from getting up out of their seats and the really short flight time. So even though I only interacted with them during the first meal service, I slept through breakfast, they were great. 5 stars. So that leaves Delta's A350 service from Detroit to Amsterdam with 23 stars out of a possible 25. What do you think? Leave a comment with your thoughts about Delta's service, and between now and the next time, see you in the sky.